We'll see what's happening. So we've got Gao, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Akuma, Face, Thorfinn, and Jaconzo. Now I know Jaconzo is one of the top players in OC. It's got something like 10,000
Good
RR
form.
currently in ranked, which is I think the highest it could be. Hmm. All right, and now we have started off. So we've got currently got basic, passing the ball back to Hellboy. Hellboy passes back to basic in the middle, currently open. Hellboy running it through. He's got three people coming up. Goes for the blaze shot, kicks it right corner. Chiconzo saves. Now it's over to Thorfinn.
Yeah, a great save already to start it off. Jaconzo, you mentioned him just a little bit earlier. He's a player that has, what, 10k RP, the most in the region. So a great save from him to start it off. And just from the fingertips across into the center, and that's going to get cleared. And Gal puts it in the feet of Spirit. Spirit opts to take on his man and then plays it to Hazzy down the right hand side. I think, playing with Legacy, playing around Legacy, Hazzy gets around him, does it beautifully well, but Thorfinn going to get that ball back and plays it to Akuma, who does get past Hazzy. Now going to have that blue sprint to work with. Down the left hand side we go. And Akuma looking for someone in the middle and doesn't quite connect the way he would have wanted, but into Thorfinn's feet. A little blade shot into Obi-Wan, back to him again, and is not going to land. Look at the pressure from Legacy. Like, I think it's a really interesting one. They keep the pressure on, but they still have that player sitting back there. What do you think, Avatar?
Absolutely, they're playing it very patiently, just trying to keep that away from the enemy team. Thorfinn now with the ball over to Obi-Wan, but Hellboy gets a nice save. They absolutely do. They're patient. They try and take their time, try and find the weak spots of the other team. But here we have Hellboy's over to FX, free on the left side. Ball kicks it over to Spirit, but just a bit too far. Thorfinn gets a nice intercept, tries to get it down to, oh, it looks like nobody, but Basic picks it up. Basic with the tackle over Akuma. Has he now with the ball? Kicks it into the box. Gal looks like he heads it away straight to Akuma. Akuma misses it, Basic, and passes it back to Hellboy.
Yeah, look, a little bit of back and forth there. Now it's Legacy with possession. As I say that, they do turn it over. But regardless, they had that pressure coming forward. And now they try to get it into the box to Thorfinn. Thorfinn gets past one, plays it back to Obi in the box, and a shot and a beautiful save by Hellboy. To the left-hand side, that save comes. And they're going to go out the right-hand side. Hazzy with the ball. And Akuma going to challenge him as he switches the ball to Bull. And Bull, just a little bit of time, just slowing down the gameplay. As we mentioned, Legacy, a team that does like to slow it down, but can speed it up when necessary. Hellboy is just going to drive that ball through, plays it to Basic. Basic going to opt to go through the middle, does it beautifully well. Basic going to go up for a blade shot, does get tackled, but able to get it only as far as the feet of Gao. And look, it's a back and forth game, and I like how both teams are slowing it down.
Absolutely, they are taking the time. They're not rushing anything too much. You can see them passing between the defenders. Gal not looking to rush anything. Passes it over to Thorfinn on the right side. Now for a long kick over to Akuma, who does get it. Has he right next to him? A little chip into the box, but Hellboy does get that save right there.
Yeah, we were mentioning, I think, Vinland, one of those teams that, can definitely beat Legacy. But, Legacy undefeated, what are they, 8-0 at the moment, I believe? 9-0 potentially?
They are 8-0 at the moment, I believe. So we don't know if they're going to keep it. They do like their blaze shots, and they do get one off straight past Jaconzo into the bottom right of the net.
Beautiful goal. 3.5 minutes in, and Legacy with their first goal coming through Basic, who had three players on him at one stage, but just down the left-hand side of that goal, and unfortunately, not able to get to that one is Jaconzo, and that's going to be 1-0 with still over half the game to be played out, so still a lot of time to work with Avatar.
It's got a lot of time to go, so no reason to start panicking just yet. They're just doing some small passes. Ball does get a nice intercept, but gets straight back to Obi-Wan. Again, playing nice and slow, just trying to break up the defense at the moment. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
for sure. Long shot. Wow. That one almost connected in a way I'm not sure he thought it would, but has he? Gets it past Thorfinn, does it very, very well. Not much stamp to work with. Puts it in the box for Spirit, but doesn't quite land how he would have wanted it to. And Thorfinn just going to slow it down towards the middle. Obi got a lot of options to work with now. Opts to go for a blade shot. And Hellboy going to collect that one every single time.
Absolutely. Blaze shots outside the box are not quite as effective as they could be. But here we have Hellboy's definitely, again, taking his time. He's got no pressure at the moment. They are winning as well, so they don't need to do anything until they get it. But Hellboy doesn't get it past Obi-Wan. However, he does get a nice tackle, but Spirit might still get the ball. He does a nice tackle onto Akuma. Akuma tries to tackle it again. Oh, gets it past Spirit. That was a nice defense by them.
For sure. That was very risky from Hellboys, but really quickly, Thorfinn going to put that ball out the left-hand side to Obi. Obi off the wall, puts it in the center for Gao. Gao to pass to Thorfinn. Doesn't quite connect, but collected. Back to him again. And Hellboy going to collect that one. A little bit of shakiness there from the side of Legacy. And as I was mentioning earlier, Hellboy did go up a little bit far, almost lost the ball. And if that turns over where he previously did, we could see a lot of trouble there for Legacy. Almost, a goal that they wouldn't have liked to concede at all. But Basic through the middle again. Last time he was here, he scored a blade shot. He's going for it again. And only to the hands of Jaconzo.
I mean, yeah, there was 3 people in front of him to stop it, but here we have a pass over to Spirit. Oh, it looks like he just didn't get it though. So one passes back to Jaconzo. Jaconzo now with the ball to Obi-Wan, over to Gao. Obi-Wan running it up, goes for another blade shot to Akuma. A kick, oh, but basically it's a nice block, but Obi-Wan still gets a shot off. Gao now with the ball, running it up the side, over to Akuma. A kick back. Jaconzo should be able to get this back, because onto the other side, over to Thorfinn. Ball there with the tackle. He does miss it though. And gets the tackle off. And Obi-Wan goes for a shot. A bit of a slow shot. Hellboys picks that up with little difficulty.
Yeah, Hellboy's had a lot of the ball this game and a lot of just easy saves, comfortable saves for him. A couple of chances for Obi, but not quite the placement you would have liked on them. And look, Legacy slowing it down. As you mentioned, they don't have to do anything. They're 1-0 up, 3 minutes 51 seconds on the clock. You almost run down the clock, and if you can score something opens up, you'll go through with it. So look what Hellboy's doing. He's dragging out Obi. Oh my god, very risky there from Hellboys. He's got 2 players on him. Turns it over. Akuma could have shot, but opts to pass the ball there, and that was an opportunity that could have went flying.
Absolutely. It kind of looks like Legacy's getting a bit overconfident. They're going for these risky kind of plays, which if they do mess it up, it could end up being a free goal. Now I have Basic with the ball. Thorfinn gets a nice tackle. Kuma now with the ball running up the middle. Tries to pass off to the side over to Thorfinn with a big kick into the box. Looks like Basic got to touch that, and Ball now with the ball. He's got time. He's in front. Kuma trying to race to catch up with a dive. Kicks over to Spirit, but no, just a bit too high, and Gal passes back to Jaconzo for safety.
Yeah, for sure. I think, a lot of the opportunities have gone swaying, for Vinland. In the air, look at this defense they have. They're sort of almost a 3-way line in defense. It's Hazy, Bull, and Basic all dropping back. Basic in the center, Hazy on the left-hand side as he collects that ball. Might opt to take on Akuma. He does it, but Akuma is going to have all the stamina to play it back to Jaconzo. And Obi down the middle is free, but opts to go down to Gao. Gao has a lot of space to work with. Plays it to Obi. And he might play it out to Akuma. He's going to go for a blade shot. No, puts it to Thorfinn. Back to him again. And a beautiful play there, but only to the hands of Hellboy once again.
Absolutely, yes. Legacy do have a great defense. All 3 players dropping back. It's really hard to break through. So they can just take their time at the moment. Has he tries to get around Thorfinn. Passes it over to Bull. And he passes it straight back to Hellboys again. Not wanting to play anything too risky. Just wanting to take time. Try and find a weak spot in their defense. Hellboy now to Basic in the midfield. Tries to pass it over to Hazy. Does. Hazy now in the box. In the corner now. Tries to kick it back over to Hellboys. Looks like they're trying to play very safe now. They don't want to do anything. They just want to make sure that they win this.
For sure. I think, one thing I really like about Legacy is they allow for Hellboys to have all that space to sometimes drive up a little bit. And what it does, it almost gives them sort of more opportunities down the field. Obviously a bit risky, but hey, the more risk, sometimes the better the reward. And I think it's something they've been doing, and Hellboy's one of the best keepers at playing it out. Basic going for another blade shot, but only as far as Gao. And you see what happens is Spirit is the last man up, and they have all 3 dropping back. Here's an example right now. And it opens up a bit of space sometimes, but getting past that wall is difficult. With Spirit now, could take on a player, takes on one, and he's going to get interrupted by Obi. He plays it to Basic. Basic going to slow it down once again. And they're just going to drain that clock. Only 1 minute left. And to be honest, it's looking like a Legacy win if Vinland can't find anything in the next minute.
No, absolutely not. So here we have Obi-Wan running over onto the left. Spirit just trying to do some small tackles. Gal now will miss straight through to Akuma. He tries to go for a little cross, but just misses it. As you can see, they've got two currently in the box. They're not man marking at all. They're just trying to stop the space. They're just trying to make sure that trying to get anything inside the box is as hard as possible. Now, has he just booting it up the field, trying to get away from danger? And Chikonzo kicks it back into play over to Gal.
For sure. Only 20 seconds left and not much time left. And now they're committing more players up the field. Gao tries to play that in. Doesn't quite work out in his favour. 14 seconds left. Not a lot of time for Vinland. They need to make something happen. And they need to make it happen now. All four players up really, really high. Puts it in the middle is Akuma. And 5 seconds left on the clock. Jaconzo potentially one last opportunity. And they might slow it down just a little bit for the last attack, which is what they will do. Thorfinn puts it in the midfield and doesn't quite work when he puts it in the box. And that's going to be a win to Legacy over Finland. A great game from Hellboys. Basic to score the goal in the 6.5 minutes remaining. And what a beautiful game it was there. 11,000 points to Hellboys and a beautiful MVP for him.
It absolutely was. Again, Legacy defense is just so hard to break through. Just having as many people in the box as possible. Trying to get anything off and trying to get into the box at all is incredibly hard for it. And you can see that it absolutely did pay off. All they needed is that one goal, and they were just playing safe the entire rest of the time.